Hello, Internet. It's been so long. Oh, man, I got my audio so high right now. All right, that's better. How is everyone doing? It's been like 3 weeks. I apologize, folks. It's been, that's the longest hiatus I've ever taken. Wally World, nice to see you. You're still here. I love it. You know, I was kind of expecting, tell me if my audio sucks right now. I feel like my mic might be messing up on me. Yeah, I thought I might lose some of you guys, but Wally, you are always there, and I much appreciate it. So, yeah, let me know if my audio is terrible. I feel like it sounds terrible in my headphones. So, I'm glad to see you, buddy. Seriously, definitely glad to see you guys. Tons to talk about. I gotta sort of recap with. Yeah, you know what? Let me mess with my mic. Okay, that was messing with my mic. That was it. That's how rinky dink my setup is, you guys. It's a budget show over here. How are we doing? How is everybody? I'd love to hear from you in the chat, whatever platform you're watching on, whether it's Rumble, X, or YouTube. Yeah, still streaming over there on YouTube. I hate myself for it too. I kind of hate myself a little bit for it. Well, as you guys know, I didn't win. I did not win. I did not advance to the second round of the election, and that was to be expected. And a lot of you guys seem to think that I'm like black-pilled over it. I'm absolutely not. We kind of always knew this was sort of an uphill battle, to say the least. I did not expect to win. I didn't expect to where is Scarlett? Scarlett, you gonna come say hi? Jeez, people are asking for you. You're the star of the show. You gonna do a big stretch first? Okay, come on. Let's come say hi to everybody. She's gotten lazy. She's getting older now, you guys. She's just not as excited, apparently. All right. Those of you guys new to the show, this is Scarlett. She's the mascot. All right. Okay. Can you go lay down now? You know what I think it was? You guys, I got a little bit cold in here. I think it's the first day of spring, technically, isn't it? Daylight savings time or whatever. And I turned on a little space heater, and she's just kind of sitting right in front of the space heater. She really likes the space heater. So, yeah. Anyway, election. I didn't win, if you guys weren't aware. I definitely didn't win. Let's see. I'll share the screen with you guys. But something that's bugging me is, so before I say anything, I do not think that I was cheated out of anything. I don't think that the counts made it so I came in last, clearly. I mean, you guys, I got 1.9% of the vote so far, but only 61% of the vote has been counted. What is going on? How is this okay? Like really? How is this okay? I don't understand why it's okay all of a sudden. I'm old enough to remember when we would count ballots, paper ballots, in one day and get all the election results would be done the night of the election. What happened? Like what happened? Like why? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it became okay for them to only count 61% of the vote almost a week after the election. And they appeared to have stopped counting because it got up to 61% like a couple of days ago. And it was only to like 40-something% a few days before that. It's just, why? What is going on? Why is this okay? I don't understand it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have very much confidence in California elections. So just this alone, having all month to vote, and they count. Also, what I noticed is I turned my ballot in. I turned it in a Dropbox. Yeah, I did. Just Dropbox, whatever. I would have liked to go to the day of voting. I think everybody should have to go in-person voting. But I put it in the Dropbox. I'm just going to say it. Okay, whatever. But they counted my vote before the day of the election. Then I didn't think that was a thing either, but apparently it is. So they start counting the ballots early, and they have I don't know how long they are allowed or how much time they're given to count the votes now, but apparently it's a long time. So yeah, I guess that's what's going on. They can take as long as they want to count the votes. So just that by itself to me seems super shady, like, are you guys taking breaks? Do you only got like 4 people? What's the deal? Why is it taking so long? But then you factor in everyone gets mailed a ballot. Everybody. even people that don't live in California anymore. The DMV appears to just register everybody to vote. If you change your party affiliation from Democrat to Republican, that seems to cause some shenanigans. Oh, cause Scarlett's back. She's booping me with her snoot. Universal mail ballots. Everybody. Also, voter ID. You don't need to prove who you are. Just no voter ID. Ballot harvesting is legal. There's all sorts of insane things with California elections that are just okay now. I don't have any faith in California elections. Again, I should say, I do not think any shenanigans kept me from winning. But what I was kind of expecting to see, so you got Tony Verretta up here, the Republican, so this is my race, you guys. And you guys that are maybe new to the show, didn't know I ran for state Senate. This is California State Senate District 17. This is me way down here at the bottom with 1.9% of the vote. Hey, I'm a libertarian. What do you expect from me? So Tony Verretta, who did not campaign at all. I didn't see any of his campaign signs anywhere. He didn't show up to either of the two debates that Eric and I competed in, or participated in, I should say. Neither did John Laird, but it's kind of expected. I mean, look, he got 66% of the vote. I am in a deep, deep blue area, you guys. And I still can't believe people vote for this scumbag. Anyway, but Tony Verretta. So he didn't campaign at all. He did nothing. He did absolutely nothing and got 20% of the vote. That's because he has the backing of the GOP. So they threw a bunch of money behind him. I don't know. That's how he got 20% of the vote. But Eric Tao over here, the secret Democrat, Eric Tao is friends with Andrew Yang, Ted Lieu, Judy Chu, and all the Silicon Valley AI tech bros. I don't know if this is going to happen, but I halfway expect these numbers to swap. I think Eric Tao is a Democrat plant, and they wanted it so Eric Tao would actually advance to the second round. So that way it was just basically two Democrats against each other. So yeah, those are the shenanigans. And that's sort of where we're at with the whole ballot situation in California. So we still don't know who won. Well, we know John Laird. I guess that's why they stopped counting, because they can put this check mark next to John Laird's name there, because he's gotten 66.8% of the vote. And I guess mathematically, it's impossible for him to come in any other place than first. The thing is, it's a jungle primary. So the top two people move on. Well, I mean, I think it's still mathematically possible for Eric Tao to beat Tony Verretta. So, I mean, why haven't they counted the ballots? I don't get it. Why haven't they counted the ballots? It's so frustrating. I don't get it. Okay, whatever. So yeah, that's that. That's how the election went. And okay, so a lot of people seem to think that I'm blackpilled because I didn't win. I mean, yeah, I was bummed. I was more bummed because for some dumb reason, I thought I was going to get like 10% of the vote. I did. I don't know. Call it my narcissistic delusions of grandeur. I just thought I'd do better. I really did. I put a lot of work into this, you guys, like a lot of work. I bought tons of signs and I went and put them all up myself. Was the work that I did efficient? Did I do well? No, probably not. It was my first campaign and I was running solo. So, bite me. But I did a lot of work. I did a ton of work. I went to all the speaking events. I went to the debates and the interviews for KSBW. I did a lot. And it was kind of disappointing that I didn't do better. But, it was expected that I wasn't going to even get past the primary. But I was certainly hopeful, especially with how Tony Verretta didn't do anything. So it is what it is. What can you do? So I didn't do too well, but I'm not black-pilled over this, you guys. I'm more black-pilled, and I'll sort of segue in my other thing. I'm more black-pilled because, I mean, it's been so ever since I learned that I wasn't going to win or wasn't going to move on. I was like, okay, back into job hunt gear, just trying to get my employment back. And it's just become re-solidified that I have essentially ruined my career in AV. And what's fun, so I, started plugging away and reaching out to leads that I had and contacts within the industry, and even people that have reached out to me on X that are like, hey, I know people in the Bay Area, I know people in the AV industry, and it's the AV industry is a very small industry, even in the Bay Area with millions of people. High-end AV, only so many people can afford it. I mean, when I say high-end AV, I'm talking about, dedicated movie theaters where just one room will cost $200,000, and then they're doing the rest of their house too. I'm talking jobs where just our stuff, just the AV, speakers, lighting control, shades, touch panels that control everything, control your fireplace, control your sprinklers, speakers outside, gigantic houses, all that kind of stuff. I've been on jobs, residential jobs, where it was I've been in charge of really giant jobs that are, the biggest one I've ever been in charge of was $2.4 million in just AV. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. And you guys know who the client is. I can't say his name. I signed non-disclosure agreements. And the house was more like a hotel with a detached pool house. It has another ADU. Then it has a barn with a living quarters upstairs in the barn because they have people to live there to take care of the horses. This was the most insane property I've ever been to. It was insane. Well, that industry is really small, and only so many people can afford that type of stuff. And a lot of these people are tech people, high up tech people that you know the name of. So it's kind of like the same 5 or 6 companies in the Bay Area that will service these. That didn't sound right. We don't service them, you guys. We provide services for them, but we do not service them. Anyway, it's a small industry. It's a very small industry. And the company that I worked for, that I got fired from for refusing to wear a mask, one of the blind investors at that company was a guy that created a tech company, and he sold it for millions and millions of dollars. And he's friends with all these other tech people. So when I got fired and made a big stink and ended up on Tucker Carlson, that sort of I don't know if it put me on a list. I don't want to say it put me on a list, but it feels like some calls were made about me and, a do not hire this guy type situation. But there's smaller AV companies. There's, I've worn all the hats in the industry. I've worked for, what we call trunk slammers. I've worked for trunk slammers, and then I've worked for the, top of the top people. And I also did commercial, and technically I'm still in the union. I'm an IBEW member. I'm on book 1. I'm number 8 on book 1, local 595, sound and communications. So when I wasn't doing residential, before that, I was doing, back and forth kind of, but I was doing commercial for a really high end tech company that their name has to do with fruit. Am I guys picking up what I'm putting down? So I built conference rooms, video walls. They called them all hands rooms, dedicated movie theaters there, conference, all sorts of stuff. All the things that these tech companies build to have conferences, meetings, big events, all that kind of stuff. Auditoriums, commercial. It's a whole different industry, commercial AV. Well, they aren't really building conference rooms anymore. COVID kind of destroyed that. COVID destroyed the commercial AV industry for a while, particularly in the Bay Area. And there's still tons of people working from home. It has not recovered. The whole tech industry, or the AV industry for tech companies, which used to be huge business. I mean, they're always building conference rooms, always. And there's not anymore. They're just not. That business is sort of dried up. So that's and me hunting all week and getting turned down again, going through some interviews, and basically being told by somebody like, well, looks like you're kind of desperate, so you got to take sort of whatever I offer you. Like, that was a big kick in the balls. Somebody pretty much said the quiet part out loud to me in an interview that, well, you're blacklisted kind of, and nobody wants to hire you, so I can super lowball you. And that's what it felt like. I didn't make a ton of money, but I'll just be completely transparent. I made $49 an hour. It's not terrible, but it's not great. If you're not making $150 in the Bay, $150,000 a year in the Bay Area, you're considered in poverty. But I don't need to make tons of money. I don't need to be rich. I don't want to be rich. I live in a 500 square foot place. Like, you guys are looking at like a quarter of my place right now. It's tiny. I live in a tiny place in the Redwoods, and yeah, I don't need tons of space. But it was just sort of more of a kick in the balls after losing the election and then going back and trying to get my career back and realizing, oh yeah, that's not really an option. And yeah, so that's sort of how I've been blackpilled lately. So that's sort of the spiel. I'm not blackpilled. Well, a little bit. I'm a little bit blackpilled. A little bit, but I'll figure it out. So I will say, with that whole spiel, I should let's see. I should throw this up on stage or up on here. Yeah. If you guys want to support the show, if you want to support the work that I'm doing, I have a Give, Send, Go set up right now. We are in the process. I'm taking the show to the next level, guys. I'm leveling up. We're building a website. I created a merch store. If you guys, it's not live yet, but the website's not live yet, but it's going to be called the CaliBased Club, CaliBasedClub.com. You'll be able to go to that website. We're going to do hats. We're going to do t-shirts and stickers. Yeah, that's all I'm going to start off with. Just hats, t-shirts, and stickers, and probably trucker hats because I like trucker hats and flex fit hats. Those are the types of hats that I rock them. So I'll be wearing the shirts and the hats probably on this show. So, but for now, if you want to help the cause, this is my Give, Send, Go up here, www.givesendgo/GACW6. So yeah, I'll leave that up there for a while. If you guys want to support the show, I would much appreciate it. So let's see. Wally World, you hope I find work. Me too, kind of. Oh, well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I hope I find work because if I don't, it's not going to work out. But this is my work. Since I might as well just double down on this and do everything that I can. So for the next foreseeable future, now that I'm not campaigning anymore, I'm going to try and go hard on this show. Go every night if I can. And well, I'm going on another show tomorrow night, so there will be no show. I'll be on Larry Sharp's show tomorrow night. And, I'll have other podcasts, work that I have to do and stuff, but I'm going to try and be in as many Twitter spaces as I can, looking at all the trending topics, reading all the articles, finding out all the stuff that's going on in the world while you guys are at work. And then hopefully you tune into this fantastic show and I can tell you about all the shenanigans that the government's doing with an emphasis on California. That's sort of the goal of this show. So I mean, hey, Tim Pool did it. Why can't I? I don't want to build what Tim Pool did, but I would love it if I love doing this. I'm already down the rabbit holes all day long. I'm politically minded. I like knowing what's going on, putting and interpreting things in my way and telling you guys about it. And if I could make that a career somehow, then, I mean, isn't that the American dream? Is there still a chance for me to pursue the American dream? I think there is. So I love doing this. And if I could make this my career, so be it. So I'm going to be doubling down on this. I will be trying. I might just go get a job at I might have to lie about who I am, but I have this stupid thing that I feel like I'm supposed to tell people what happened in the job interviews. Yeah, I got fired for refusing to wear a mask and ended up on Tucker. I've literally said that in my last 2 interviews. Probably wasn't the best idea, but yeah, so I'm probably going to try to get a job at a hardware store just to, have something coming in because I have nothing coming in. And yeah, and so you guys know what was keeping me afloat for this last 7-8 months or whatever. Not to be all sad pants, but my dad passed away. My dad passed away in 2020 and he was supposed to get an inheritance from his mom when she passed away. Not a lot. From my grandma, and my grandma passed away last year, and I got 50 grand. That was it. I got 50 grand, and instead of doing something smart like putting some of it in Bitcoin and investing it and stuff, I invested in it myself. I invested it in this show, and it's been paying my rent. It's been keeping me afloat, keeping the dogs fed and stuff, and it's gone. So sorry, Uncle Tommy. Was that the smartest move? I don't know. Time will tell. I have built something, but it's not doing it yet. So that's the deal. You guys are all caught up. So if you want to support the cause, it is definitely a cold game in these streets right now. I mean, you guys also know, aside from my opinions, aside from getting fired from Tucker Carlson, in California, there are tons of companies with diversity, equity, and inclusion officers. which I don't understand how they and HR work together, because I mean, I still think it's illegal to discriminate against people based on skin color, religion, sexual orientation, vaccination status, all that stuff. But it's happening. The whole hierarchy of victimhood, like, it's an active thing. And apparently I am at the very bottom of the hierarchy of victimhood, being a straight white male Christian who refused the vaccine and got fired for refusing to wear a mask. So on top of having spicy opinions and talking about stuff I'm not supposed to, getting fired, ending up on Tucker, all this stuff stacked against me for any job. So yeah, I'm doubling down on this. This is what I'm doing. So, all right, enough about all that. But yeah, if you guys want to support the show, give, send, go, GACW6. I'll take this off the screen because it's kind of annoying me. Let's actually get into some stuff, shall we? Let's see. Okay, I figured it out. All right, let's see. All right, you guys, there's some of you guys watching. If you guys want to join the chat, I would much love it. I like when you guys talk to me. I feel so lonely when it's just me talking into the mic. But let's actually get into some stuff now. I'll stop sharing the election stuff here. And yeah, I want to actually talk about, okay, this is the stuff I wanted to talk about like a couple weeks ago when it came out, or a week ago when it came out. And this whole Puff Daddy situation is pretty crazy. Puff Daddy is, I mean, it kind of appears that he's like the Epstein of the rap industry. And well, let's go over to the gentleman who explains it best. This dude is awesome. I'm a big fan of this guy, Ian Carroll, over on Twitter, and we're going to play this whole video. I'm going to pause it intermittently, but there's so much. He did 3 of these videos. I'm going to play the first one and the last one, but yeah, and I have only part of the last one that I'm going to play, but I'm going to play the whole first one because there's so much information in this thing, and it's so insane, this story, and how many things that link together through this is, I mean, creepy to say the least. It's kind of nuts. So yeah, let's talk about P-Diddy being a grooming, blackmailing, potentially pedo in the rap industry.
He just got the Jeffrey Epstein of the music and entertainment industry. The new lawsuit that just dropped against Diddy is massive, and it has photos, it has videos, it names names. And there's so much here that it's never going to fit into a single video. So I'm going to do a quick overview in this video, and then I'm going to do a couple of parts breaking down all the different aspects of what's come out so far. We're talking crime scenes. We're talking photo evidence of celebrities like Cuba Gooding Jr. We're talking record label executives. We're talking hidden cameras in every room of the house, getting recordings of celebrities, executives, politicians.
So the cameras in every room of the house, that is the big thing. That's the huge thing. This is, if you guys have read, sorry, my dog's drinking water. If you guys have read Whitney Webb's book, which you all should, volume 1 and volume 2, but volume 1 really goes into detail about how the whole blackmail thing started. And there's a guy named Meyer Lansky who pretty much created this whole blackmail scheme, like getting high profile people in compromising positions with prostitutes, or back then, if you got caught being gay, it was a big deal. You weren't allowed to be gay back then. So if you know, guys got caught doing things with other guys, get photos of them, then boom, you got blackmail. Well, he did this to J. Edgar Hoover, and J. Edgar Hoover was kind of like, oh, well, you got me, so I'm going to do this to everybody else. And J. Edgar Hoover sort of like jumps in with Meyer Lansky, and they start blackmailing people with compromising stuff. You know, fast forward to the Epstein years, turns out that's what he was doing. And now it comes out that P. Diddy's doing the same crap, you know, and then you look back at Usher, Justin Bieber, it's like, holy crap. Anyway, we'll let it continue. But the cameras in every room of the house, suspect.
Parties with celebrities and underage girls, with drinks being spiked, with drugs. This goes all the way back to the murder of Tupac and Biggie. We're talking about the entire rap and hip hop industry and the whole music industry at large. But to be clear, this is just opinions and speculation. These are not statements of fact. When I show sources in the background, like the court case, you should take those for just what they are. I'm not saying that all of this is necessarily real. So what's happened just now is that this man, Rodney Jones, who is a music producer, that
if you guys don't follow Ian Carroll, just like pause this and go follow him. Like, this dude is legit. This dude is good. He's really good. Like, I don't know where he gets all the info from. He does deep dives, and yeah, he's just good. Yeah, maybe I got a bit of a man crush on him. No homo.
worked with Sean Combs, who is Diddy. He just filed this lawsuit. And he didn't just file it against Diddy. He filed against the executives at all of the companies associated and against the companies like Universal Music Group. His lawyers claim that he has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Diddy and his staff and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. It's illegal for lawyers to make these claims if they don't have reasonable belief that this evidence is legitimate and exists. They could get disbarred for making these claims if they're not true. And some of that evidence is present in this lawsuit, like when Diddy allegedly shot a man. And then the LAPD saw that room in the photo, the bathroom with all that blood, and were on the scene for hours and no arrests were made.
All right. That's a huge thing. He allegedly straight up murdered somebody. Cops came there. He didn't even get arrested. And we'll find out why shortly, because someone knows some people.
They went with the explanation that Diddy told his staff to give, which was it was a drive-by shooting. Diddy made it clear that his head of security, Fahim Muhammad, had the power to make people and problems disappear. This guy. And all of Diddy's staff were instructed to contact Mr. Muhammad if they were ever pulled over by the police in Miami or California.
Fed vibes.
Diddy often bragged about having law enforcement under control. Although the deeper you look, the more it looks like people above him and above law enforcement had him under control.
And this goes back to, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Read the book Chaos, and you'll realize how the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has allegedly some serious intelligence agency ties, and the whole Charles Manson thing and MK Ultra, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But yeah, they might be a little corrupt.
We'll go more into these cases in the detailed videos, but now the bigger picture. See, Diddy has been one of the most powerful people in the rap industry ever since the 90s when he founded Bad Boy Records. And he was only 24 when he founded it. He started his career as a non-paid intern at A&R until he was then fired in 1993 when he was 24 and founded his own label, Bad Boy Records, later that year. So how does a 24-year-old found a massive record label on his own?
Casey Martin, nice to see you. Clive Davis, this guy's an important dude.
Well, when you dig further, you realize it wasn't on his own. It was with the help of Clive Davis, his mentor. And the further into it all you dig, you realize that Clive Davis came out as gay later on. And there's a lot of rumors that him and Diddy were in a relationship throughout this time. This is going to come up over and over and over just by chance. Clive Davis has been running significant portions of the music industry since our parents were kids listening to music, responsible for artists like Aretha Franklin, Alicia Keys, The Grateful Dead.
Damn it. I grew up on The Grateful Dead, you guys. My dad was a Deadhead. That's a picture of Bob Weir right there. Yeah, I know. Bob Weir got all weird during COVID. Still a highly influential well, I wouldn't even say influential. He was a big part of my childhood, guys. And I went and saw Dead and Company several times, and before COVID, and watching John Mayer shreds on the guitar, I'll just say, and he would watching John Mayer sit in for Jerry Garcia and sort of see Bob Weir teach him how to be a jam band player it was a fun thing to watch. And yeah, the Grateful Dead being connected to this guy really sort of breaks my heart. Don't judge me. Yeah, I like the Grateful Dead. I like Fish too.
Then later Usher, Outkast, Pink. But back in the 60s and 70s, like Janis Joplin, Santana, Aerosmith, Pink Floyd.
Damn it! I grew up on Santana too. I've probably been to 20 Santana shows.
Like, come on, read it. Jones specifically claims that they were trying to groom him to do gay stuff, which has long been the talk of the town in the rap industry by people that aren't with it. Diddy allegedly showed him a tape from a secret recording that he just happened to have of Jones's idol having gay sex with some white guy. And then Diddy apparently told Jones that he had engaged in gay sex with this redacted rapper and that redacted rapper and his idol, Stevie J. And apparently he also promised to make sure that Jones would win Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he did gay stuff on camera.
Blackmail, getting people to do what you want. And none of these people have talked about it. Wow, why does this sound so similar to Epstein?
Although, to be clear, he wasn't explicitly saying on camera, but Mr. Jones discovered that Diddy had hidden cameras in every room of his home. I'm going to guess that Diddy didn't learn how to wire a whole house with cameras on.
He didn't. Diddy didn't wire the house himself. That's what I did. I wired for cameras. I installed the cameras. Yeah, I'm pretty sure P-Diddy does not know how to terminate RJ45.
His own. Kanye has accused Diddy of being a Fed many times. Diddy's also been accused of ordering the hit on Tupac many times. And when Diddy was asked about this on a podcast, this was his response.
We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking.
When you
Inconceivable.
start digging into allegations of the CIA, the FBI, the Mossad having tentacles in the music industry, you wind up at total rumors like this. Former CIA agent admits agency created gangster rap to fill private prisons by glamorizing criminality. Claims like famous hip-hop lyrics of the legendary hip-hop outfit NWA were even scripted by a team of psychologists and war propagandists inside the CIA, according to this former agent. Obviously, these are just totally rumors and conspiracy theories. No truth to this whatsoever. But
It's conspiracy theories, guys. It means it's probably true.
leads you to people like Lear Cohen, who might be the most influential person in the last 100 years of music, because he ran Def Jam and made Jay-Z who he is, including Redman, Method Man, DMX, Ja Rule, Ludacris. But it doesn't stop with rap music. We got Bon Jovi, Mariah Carey, Shania Twain, Elvis Costello, Ashanti, Nickelback, Slipknot, Sum 41, The Killers, Slayer. But then we've also got his protege, Julie Greenwald, that got elevated through this merger that he brokered and managed the Black Keys, Bruno Mars, Death Cab for Cutie, Jason Mraz, Kid Rock, Lupe Fiasco, Wiz Khalifa. That would be this Julie Greenwald.
Now, that does not necessarily mean all these bands were, it probably doesn't mean all these bands were doing anything nefarious. You know, it's just bands that he managed, except for Nickelback. They're always suspect.
And then we've got Lucian Grange, the CEO of Universal Music Group. He's the one that is directly implicated and named in this lawsuit. It is alleged that he attended these parties with underage girls and with sex workers, and he knew that they were spiking drinks, et cetera, et cetera. But when you're talking about Diddy, you got to also talk about Justin Bieber, who was managed by Scooter Braun, along with Kanye West, Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, et cetera.
And we're going to get into the Biebs in a minute.
Scooter Braun is a really big player in the modern music industry. We also got Psy, Carly Rae Morris, Martin Garrix, Kanye West, Black Eyed Peas, David Guetta, Lil Dicky. So you might not remember, but back in the 90s, Tupac and Biggie were both coming up, and they were both talking about leaving their records that we've shown the people.
Northside, Whiskey Reaper, Terry Wallace, I missed you guys. I missed you guys so much.
Involved in those records already and starting their own. And Tupac was starting to speak out a little bit maybe about the nature of the industry. Diddy was
B-Sizzo, where you at?
Was close in the middle of that, and there's a lot of rumors that he ordered the hit on Tupac. Diddy sort of rose to power on the power vacuum of Tupac and Biggie both leaving the scene. And he has been manipulating and running a huge portion of the industry from the inside ever since. And this court case directly alleges with lots of evidence that he has been running a sexual blackmail scheme that entire time, promoting artists that would engage in the sexual blackmail scheme and then do their bidding there, because there's not just him acting alone, and pushing out, ostracizing, blacklisting, attacking artists that wouldn't. So maybe you should go back and listen to some of Kanye's interviews and See if he sounds quite so crazy after all. He just got the
This dude does great work. Excellent work. Yeah. Go back and listen to some of the Kanye stuff. And yeah, Candace Owens is under some fire right now from Rabbi Shmuley, that dude, that weird little dildo salesman. Well, he ties into this a little bit too, believe it or not. Yeah, we'll get into that. Well, he was an advisor to Michael Jackson, and there's somebody connected to P-Diddy who's connected to Michael Jackson. So I'll leave it at that. So let's see. I'm going to continue, and I'm going to let Ian Carroll explain a little more. Let's see. I'm not going to play this whole one because it's another 7-minute video, but I want him. So he talks about Muhammad, what's his face? The security guy, the head of security for P. Diddy, the guy that knew people in Los Angeles and in Miami, that if the dude that if P. Diddy told his friends that if you get in trouble in LA or in Miami, call this dude and he'll get you out of trouble. Let's learn a little bit about this dude. Okay. So a little weird, right? P. Diddy security was also head of the security for the King of Pop. And he says something there, how people in his comments pointed this out to him. And that's also why I love doing what I'm doing, because there's so much stuff that I learn about from just things you guys send me. It's amazing. A lot of the stuff that I end up digging deep into are just things you guys send me that I didn't know about. So yeah, it's another reason why I love doing this. But let's continue talking about Fahim Muhammad, because it gets weirder. So underage girls at parties at P. Diddy's house, where he has all of the rooms wired for sound and video, and he's spiking the drinks. So people wake up in bed next to underage girls in compromising positions. Then there's video evidence of it. And it's like, hey, we're going to expose you as a pedo if you don't do what we say. Very Epsteinish. This is where it gets weird. Well, it was already weird. This is where it gets weirder. Doesn't he look a little young to be the head of security for Michael freaking Jackson, the King of Pop? All right, you guys you're gonna have to go to Ian Carroll's Twitter, or he's huge on TikTok. He's also on Instagram. You guys can follow him on all those platforms. But yeah, you're gonna have to go there to watch the rest of this video because I'm not gonna play the whole thing. But he became the head of security for Michael Jackson right after he got out of college with a business degree. Did a business degree. How does a 24-year-old fresh out of college with a business degree become the head of security for arguably the most famous guy on earth at the time, Michael Jackson? How do you become the head of security fresh out of college with a business degree for Michael Jackson? I don't know. Well, with all of that stuff in mind, everything in mind about what we just learned about P-Diddy, let's watch this video from a documentary. I think it was called 48 Hours with P-Diddy or something like that. And this is Justin Bieber when he's 15 years old.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you rock this every time you come in LA. Yeah. This going to be yours. So every time you come in LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, go get the front shot of this.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to be driving this.
Yeah.
You guys got audio on this? Damn it, Terry Wallace. Thank you for letting me know. No sound from video. Oh, man. That is very frustrating. All right, I probably lost a bunch of you guys on that one. Well, hopefully you have sound on this one. Terry Wallace, will you let me know if I got sound on this video, the Bieber one?
Next year?
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you got to, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You can ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Slow down. Let's slow down, Judge.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion?
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely.
Is that creepy at all? Where we're hanging out, what we're going to be doing, we can't really disclose. This is a 15-year-old kid.
A 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? You had legal guardianship of Usher when he was a child? His parents signed their guardianship over to you? Okay. He's saying he doesn't have guardianship over Bieber, but
Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out some girls.
Man after my.
tell me that ain't creepy. Tell me that is not creepy, you guys. All right, let's continue. So let's go. Let's fast forward a few years, huh? Let's see how Bieber and P. Diddy's relationship has evolved. Tell me if you guys got audio on this one too. I don't want to be messing up. Oh wait, yeah, I almost did mess up.
Everything's good. Selling out arenas and everything. Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
How uncomfortable and nervous does he look? And P. Diddy saying he's been trying to get a hold of him, and he hasn't been able to get a hold of him. So, what happened? Why was Justin Bieber ducking P. Diddy?
Number?
Yeah. Everything's good.
Just gives him his number there. So that was a It's a bit of an awkward exchange there, wasn't it? Here, watch it one more time. It's only 18 seconds.
Selling out arenas and everything, starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean,
He's acting differently. You ain't been calling me the way we used to call and hang out. Is it because something happened when you guys were hanging out? I don't know. I wonder if anything happened. Wonder if anything happened to the Beebs. Well, let's keep going here. So, all right. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to get into with the whole P-Diddy blackmail crap. But this is looking like a thing. And since it's a lawsuit, more stuff's going to be coming out in the future. But all you guys should go read this book. Sorry. Oops. Yeah. All you guys should go read this book. One Nation Under Blackmail, Whitney Webb. She's fantastic. I'm reading it for a second time because there is so much freaking stuff that goes into this. I mean, you learn a lot about the Iran-Contra stuff in this. You learn a lot about the origins of intelligence agencies and who are behind the origins of these intelligence agencies. You learn a lot from these books, but there's so much information in it. It's like drinking from a fire hose. So yeah, like you almost have to take notes during this book and write down names, and you got to kind of become the guy with the strings on the board. Looks like the crazy conspiracy theorist dude. Yeah, you kind of have to become that when reading this. It's Whitney Webb is such a wealth of knowledge, and this book will blow your mind if you haven't read it already. Again, I'm reading it a second time because I'm kind of autistic and have ADD, and I can't. Sometimes I don't take everything in. But yeah, so that's looking like it's a thing. That's happening. So they have a whole Epstein situation going on in the rap world. Yeah, so that's happening. That's the deal, guys. I wanted to do a much more deeper dive into it. I want to do a whole episode on just this, but since it's been 3 weeks since I've done a live stream, I have to cover a bunch of stuff tonight. And yeah, I don't have the time to get into a big, long, giant episode. So let's check with the chat here. Terry Wallace, Whiskey Reaper, Northside, Casey Martin. It's so nice to see you guys. Let's see. Okay, good. Guys had audio from that video. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, Bieber, he has that eye droopy thing. I think that was, what was it, Guillain-Barré syndrome that he got? I can't remember what it was, but everybody says it's from the backs. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but I mean, kind of suspect, isn't it? So it's, yeah, kind of interesting. All right, let's continue. So I'll just briefly talk about this. Try not to make it too insanely long of an episode, but there's some stuff going on in Haiti, you guys. It's looking like the government has just collapsed over in Haiti. So let's just go through some quick shots that's coming out there. But they're saying there's like cannibals running around and crap. I don't know. That sounds a little insane to me, but this is 2024, and I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility that there are cannibals running around in Haiti. But yeah, it appears the government has collapsed. The president has left. He's not in the country anymore, from what I've heard. I don't know. You guys fact check all this stuff, confirm it. But I mean, the country has devolved into chaos. It does appear to be. So let's go over to Juanita Broderick, shall we? She's she just shared this from Wall Street Silver. This is just some footage coming out of Haiti, but yeah, I'll just watch this quick 1 minute clip. I did it again, didn't I, guys? I sure did. been almost 3 weeks since I've streamed, and I guess I'm a little rusty. Apologize, folks. Now, can you guys imagine being unarmed in a situation like this? Can you imagine not having a firearm? That would suck. What the hell? This dude's moving his furniture out. Yeah, people are moving. This is stacks of eggs. What the hell is going on here? So Haiti is wild right now. All right, let's continue over to this one. I'm not going to play this whole video, but a lot of people are pointing out like, hey, wait a minute. Didn't the Clinton Foundation collect millions of dollars to fix Haiti? Well, here's Haitian American journalist Joseph Mathieu, I guess the French way of saying it, maybe. I don't know. But here's him talking about it.
Well, we have every reason to be mad because the Clintons have destroyed Haiti for the decades. And, you know, they pretend to be our friends when in reality they are our number one enemies. You know, there are some other people who clearly behave like they don't like us. So it's easy for us to protect ourselves against them because we know they are our enemies. But the Clintons are even more dangerous because they pretend to be our friends when in reality they're destroying Haiti. And
I heard that the Clinton Foundation and all these other...
Oh, man. I didn't even watch this clip before. So this is a super old clip. That's Luke from We Are Change. Look how young he is. Holy crap. This has to be at least 5 or 6 years ago because Luke does not look like that anymore. Luke's kind of jacked. Luke's been working out.
The organization gave over $6 billion to Haiti for the relief effort, especially during the kind of natural disasters that you guys have gone through. Is that true?
No, it's more than true. The money is much more than $6 billion. You see, after the earthquake, countries around the world donate billions of dollars. The amount was much larger than $6 billion. And Bill Clinton was in charge of the money. And not only people around the world, but also American celebrities donate a lot of larger money to rebuild Haiti. And hundreds of homes were destroyed after the earthquake. And if you can believe, the people are still living under tents. That's unacceptable. And not only...
So that's all I'm going to play from that clip because it's a longer one and it's pretty old. But yeah, Haiti is not looking good right now. So yeah, that's that. Leave it at that one. I'm not going to try to go too long tonight. I'm actually making really good time right now, though. So yeah, let's see here. All right, we got to talk about the border, folks. So this might be a bit of a longer segment because I have a lot that I want to talk to in this one. Let's see. Let me expand this really quick. All right. So this is from Colin Rugg. And he says Arizona rancher John Ladd has found 17 dead bodies on his land which spans 10 and a half miles along the U.S. southern border. I'm not even going to get into it, but I got in a big spat about open borders with libertarians. Well, not libertarians, more like the AnCap people, but I'll get into that in a little bit. So he says, where are all the crocodile tears from AOC and Democrats? Unfortunately, it gets worse. Ladd has a rape tree on his property where guides rape almost all the women who cross the border. The rape trees have women's clothes on them, which violent gangs use as symbolic trophies. despite, and I've shown these rape trees on this show before. I'm not going to search for them, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It's trees with undergarments and crap hung up from them as like trophies. And the human trafficking crisis right now is absolutely out of control. It's insane. I've already said that the Border Patrol is not Border Patrol anymore. They are a human trafficking agency. They are the United States Human Trafficking Organization. That's what Border Patrol are. And if you are still working for Border Patrol, I have zero respect for you. Zero. I don't care what capacity you're working for Border Patrol in. You are part of the problem. And I have absolutely zero problem saying that. Quit your job. Go to another agency. The Border Patrol is facilitating human trafficking, and it's causing untold suffering of the most horrific crimes. All right. Despite Democrats' claims that walls don't work, the illegals shockingly used the portion of Ladd's land without a border wall to cross over 6.5 miles of the 10.5 miles. Okay. So only 6.5 miles have a border wall of the 10.5 miles. Ladd carries a Glock at all times in case he ever needs to defend his life. I'm in favor of having American citizens and private property owners. I'm in favor of having American citizens and private property owners have more control over their destiny. That's the bottom line, Ladd said. So let's actually play this clip from him. Check the traffic really quick. Let's see. Yeah. Don't give up your guns. You got it, Wally World. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. Let's play this quick clip from this dude. So his property is right on the border, and let's listen to him talk about it. Oh, what the heck just happened? All right, folks. Well, that's not good. Well, crap. Sorry, I need to find it again now. Okay, this one. Sorry, guys.
Well, we've had in the 30 years it's been bad. We had 17 dead ones. Most of them are weather, either heat or cold. Some of them are heart attacks. Some of them are sick. Probably the worst one was 2 bodies ago. My 8-year-old grandson was the one that ended up saying, "Grandpa, there's something dead over there, and it isn't a cow." We shouldn't have to look over our shoulder living where we live. My pair of my cowboy boots stolen off my front porch a week ago. So, I mean, that's how it is. That's how it's been for 35 years. You got to have everything locked up. You can't leave anything out. Well, you got to pay attention. We're not scared, and we know what we're going to do if we're confronted. Kids, grandkids, wives, everybody. We have 4 miles of Obama's wall, and it's 18 feet tall, and it's pretty much the same design, but Trump's is 30 feet. Well, the Border Patrol's caught 500,000 illegals on our ranch in 30 years. The difference is they were poor peasant type people. The cartel didn't have anything to do with them, and they were coming here to better their life.
Those are actual asylum seekers, not what we're seeing today, and I think most people have sympathy for those actual cases when people are escaping. What is it? There's can't remember what town it is, but there's some towns in Mexico that are just in absolute chaos because of cartel wars and stuff. And, people escaping just straight up war and crime and cartel violence that are trying to come here without the help of cartels that are just, they're fleeing. They're fleeing their country because there's nothing there for them anymore, and they come here illegally. I mean, yeah, that's a rough situation, you know, because you want to have a legit immigration process. At the same time, it's, you know, these people are in a horrible situation, and you got to sympathize with a man that's coming here to try and save his family. You know, those are really horrible situations. But the fact of the matter is, they are not a high percentage of what's happening now. What you see happening now is people coming from all over the world using the welfare state. That's what's incentivizing everybody to come here. Using the welfare state, you're going to get money, you're going to get housing, you're going to get everything just handed to you. And it ain't right. It ain't right at all. And it is collapsing our country. But the people that he's talking about right now that were coming here before Biden basically said, come here and we're going to give you everything that you need, you know, it was much more people just escaping a bad situation. But that's not what we have anymore.
There were 9 different places on the ranch that they all went through. So Border Patrol could be there and apprehend them. And with Biden's deal, they're 3 to 5 in a group, and they're everywhere. You know, it doesn't matter if it's an old trail, new trail. If they think they can get through, they're going.
What are they cutting this with?
A settling torch and double jacks and chisels. Pretty common spot for having the ballard cut. And these are the dates of repair.
So these pieces of steel, they're hollow, but they're filled with concrete. So, I mean, it's a lot of work to remove one of these bollards from the fencing. They got to cut through the metal with a grinder, and then they have to chisel away the concrete that I think is reinforced with, I don't know if there's rebar in it, but I mean, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of time. And, you know, it's not mom and pop that are doing it. These are cartels that are doing that type of work. They cut through it, and then they wrap a chain around it, hook it up to the rear end of a truck, and they rip that thing off.
12, 220, 226, 227. All this year, 2020.
And that's all on his property, you know? So, oh, this bad situation, you guys. All right, let's go over to Wall Street Apes here. And this is what this has turned into, you guys. This is an insane situation that this has turned into. So the human trafficking situation, and again, Border Patrol, you are complicit. So let's watch this quick video. So this is let's just see what's going on with the human trafficking of the illegal immigrants.
A massive human trafficking sting that was dubbed Operation March Sadness. A record 288 people arrested, including suspected illegal immigrants. A teacher, coaches, even active duty military members were caught up in this sting. And Sheriff Judd is joining us this morning to talk more about this. First of all, great to have you. Thank you again for taking the time to be with us this morning.
Well, good morning, Amy. I'm glad to be with you in the Orlando area.
So, Sheriff Judd, there were some very disturbing, troubling parts of this story. What were some of the biggest things that disturbed you about this sting operation?
Well, we had so many just jaw-dropping moments. When 17-year-old brother came from Wesley Chapel, the next county over, to try to rob us with a BB gun, and they got arrested. And then you focus on the 21 people that were here illegally. That's right. Let me give you just a snapshot of 3 of, we believe, human trafficking victims.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane what he says right here.
They wanted to come to the United States. So the human trafficker arranged for them to come here illegally. And then they got a voucher from DHS, flew to Yonkers, New York. She set up their prostitution stings. She had a handler that went with them every place. And she said, on Friday, you give me $3,000 a piece. So
the illegal immigrants come here. They get vouchers from the Department of Homeland Security, and they are sent to Yonkers, New York, and they get I don't know if it's assigned, but they have a handler. I'm not saying the handler has anything to do with the government, but basically a pimp. They're prostituting out these illegal immigrants. And what gets gnarlier is, well, I'll let them keep talking, but the government is funding this. The government is funding all of this.
For just these three people, who knows how many she was working, she made $9,000 a week. And she made sure they flew around the country. So we asked them, well, you came from New York to Tampa to Lakeland. Is that correct? Yes. How'd you get here? Well, we had this voucher from DHS. They told us they're flying around the country on this federal voucher.
Are your guys' brains breaking yet? This is insane. What's going on in this country right now is just absolutely insane and out of control. Let's continue. We'll go forward with Wall Street Apes again. And this is a horrific case. I don't know where this is out of, but this is an illegal immigrant that came here that is, I mean, only a cartel member would be capable of this type of crap, but we'll just let the video play because this is bad. This is sick. And you're going to start seeing more cartel style murders taking place in the United States.
We begin in the ABC 7 Alert Center with breaking news and a warning. You may find the details of this story disturbing. A woman accused in Mexico of several murders and body dismemberments, even removing victims' hearts, is arrested in El Paso. And within the last 10 minutes, ABC 7 obtained this arrest photo. She is Michelle Angelica Pineda, also known as La Cheli. She was wanted for 5 murders in Juarez. She's also suspected of being involved in several other killings. Investigators say she crossed illegally into the U.S. and was operating on behalf of the gang Artistas Asesinos, or assassin artists. The FBI says Pineda was known for extreme brutality, dismembering bodies, removing hearts, and placing the hearts in front of Santa Muerte statues. Authorities say they found guns, machetes, and fentanyl, as well as other drugs at the motel. El Paso's FBI says several law enforcement agencies worked together to arrest Pineda at an El Paso motel.
There's people out there, more than we would like to think, that feel zero remorse. They are psychopaths. They don't have empathy. And it's not just like a narcissist that doesn't have empathy. These people, the only time they feel something is when they do horrible, horrible things. Evil exists, folks. Evil absolutely exists. And it looks like you and me and normal people. And I think we're learning a lot about that with the pedophile rings that we're finding. Goodbye, YouTube channel. All right, so let's check in with Colorado, shall we? So this is a woman from Colorado talking about the illegal immigrant situation in Colorado. And it's like, Colorado, that's not a border town. Yeah, they're getting sent all over the place on the government dollar. It's insane.
This is the current situation in Denver, Colorado. In Colorado, they've taken in over 40,000 migrants. They have spent close to $57 million housing them, feeding them, clothing them, providing all the necessities for
Susie Sings, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you being here.
for them, and they can no longer do it. Mayor Johnson has said, we are in a migrant mess. We need funding. We cannot keep taking care of them. He is cutting $4.7 million from his park and recreation fund and from the DMV. He's also asking the residents of Denver to house. If you have an empty room, can you house these migrants? Imagine that, asking people there to open up their doors and let them come live.
If this continues, they will start compelling people to house migrants. They will. I think that's against, what amendment is that against? You can't force quartering. I don't know. It may not be against one of the amendments, but I don't think the government can do that. Just say, hey, open up your house to illegal immigrants and let them crash on your couch.
Live with them, because Denver cannot take care of them. I went to the city of Denver. I saw this crisis. There are thousands of migrants. It's very sad. But when I got back, people started messaging me and they said, hey, if you want to see what's really going on in Denver, he said, go to the Home Depot. He gave me this address of this Home Depot, and he said Venezuelan men are prostituting out their wives for $20 an hour.
Now, you guys are going to start seeing, all right, any of you guys that got a Home Depot near you or a Lowe's, you know, that's where people that aren't here legally like to hang out and get work. That's how they get side work. Well, I might have to start going and hanging out at Home Depot myself pretty soon, but there's a drastic uptick in the amount of people that are at these Home Depots. And I live up in the mountains here in San Lorenzo Valley in Santa Cruz County. Over in Boulder Creek, there's just a little grocery store over there. And I don't know if I'm tripping, but it seems that there is a drastic uptick in the people hanging outside of this grocery store looking for work every day. You guys are going to notice this in your town.
That is how desperate they are. They need money, they can't work, and they are basically just hanging out. And now they're going to be hanging out on the streets because they're going to be homeless. Before they were put into hotels and shelters, they were out on the streets. There were migrant tent cities. But you know, Denver is freezing cold. So the mayor put them in hotels. It's warming up. So he's sending them out on the streets. So I fear for the citizens of Denver and for the Colorado. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a migrant mess.
Whole situation's out of control, you guys. It's beyond out of control. I mean, I don't know what the solution is here either. I do not know what the solution is. So this is like a libertarian dream here. So this is from Just Jeff from Cali. He is a Liberty_Clarion, and there's a bunch of guys out in, I think they're in Arizona. They are building the border wall privately. That's right, folks. Privately building the border wall. So that's I mean, it's like, I mean, sort of the, I'm not gonna say the best of both worlds, but especially with the whole open borders fiasco argument that I got in over, man, that was so insanely silly. Yeah, I got bombarded because I'm a libertarian and I do not believe in open borders, particularly with the welfare state that we have going on right now. Yeah, that apparently you're not a real libertarian if you don't believe in open borders. And it's just, we are incentivizing people to come here. And I'm not even going to get into all that stuff, but these gentlemen are building a privately funded border wall. And yeah, maybe I'll do a whole episode about open borders and, you know, the non-aggression principle and the restriction of movement across arbitrary lines drawn in the sand by the state. Yeah, maybe I'll do a whole episode about that, but that's not what I'm going to do right now. But yeah, let's check this out. So they're building a border wall, privately funded.
Second reverse. This thing just kept going.
That was a funny little 1994 news intro he did there.
See a big D10 over here. Cat D10.
Those D10 dozers are badass. Sorry, I'm a dork.
There we go. Made it. Oh shit. Lumpy ass shit right here. Woo. Hell yeah.
So, yep, building the border wall, privately funded. Let's see, let's keep going here. Yeah, they built it all the way up this hill and all the way up to a spot where it's like virtually impassable. So, yeah, doing good work over there. So, yep, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing at the border there. All right, I think that's enough about the border. Let's see here. I got some. I got a little bit of California stuff that I'd like to get into. Quite a few stories actually, but you know what? Maybe I will save that for tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a brief show tomorrow. It'll probably be a little bit early. Probably have to go at like maybe around 4:30 in the afternoon. I'll either do it early or I'll do it after I go on Larry Sharp's show. But yes, I will be on Larry Sharp's show tomorrow at 6 o'clock, and that should be fun. Should just be a little panel show. But I still want to do my show tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to save all of this for tomorrow. All the California stuff that I want to talk about. Tonight was just I wanted to get caught up on everything. Let's see. Yeah, want to get caught up on everything. Let you guys know that I'm not all pee-pee poo-poo pants and sad face over here. It's I lost the election, but again, I wasn't really planning on winning. I hoped, had the fingers crossed, but didn't work out, folks, and I'm not too black-pilled about it. Sort of reflecting on it, I actually didn't do horrible. I'll probably end up with like 5,000 votes. It's whatever. It's my first run. Maybe I'll give it another go in a couple of years. So with that being said, I think that is all I got for tonight. Again, if you guys enjoy the show, if you want to support what I'm doing, help keep the lights on, this is how I do it. So I do have a Give, Send, Go set up, and that really it's really how I keep the lights on right now. So givesendgo.com/GACW6 if you want to help out the show. Always appreciated. Super chats and stuff like that I should have mentioned as well. But and once Twitter approves my subscriptions, I'll be doing some stuff over there as well. But I think that's all I got for tonight. So let's see. Casey Martin, Northside, Whiskey Reaper, Wally World, Susie Sings. Appreciate you guys so much for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow night. Let's see. Northside, those weren't AnCaps, those were retards. No, a lot of them were AnCaps. It's just the thing is, it's like if you apply that whole philosophy, then you don't. If you apply that whole philosophy to the Libertarian Party, then you don't even think the Libertarian Party should exist at all. So maybe I'll do a whole episode on just that, libertarian principles and all that kind of stuff. Casey Martin, thank you. Yes, I am. I'm glad to be back podcasting. It's fun. I like talking into a microphone. It's fun. I like talking. I'm a chatty Cathy. All right, folks. I think that is all I got for the night. But you know how we do it. It's been so long. Before we get out of here, we got to tell a joke from the greatest book ever written, The Truth About Chuck Norris. It's going to be a random joke. I don't know what it's going to be. Might be funny, might not. Let's see. All right, here we go. I haven't pre-read it. I don't know if it's good, but here it is. Here's the Chuck Norris joke of the evening. Chuck Norris once entered a crossword puzzle contest. He won, and the word slent was added to all dictionaries and as an acceptable synonym for smell. And on that note, stay CaliBased.